Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. I'm gonna jump in the queue here. I was looking at my rating, and like, obviously I'm still on vacation penalty and probably will be for the foreseeable future. Since, as mentioned in a recent video, I play like just barely enough. But like 1970, I think has got to be the highest rating I've had, and it's pretty good. Like if you look at the leaderboard and you imagine like that no one on here has vacation penalty, although probably some of them do, that puts me in like 21st place, and that's cool. But like, I still feel like a pretty bad player in relation to, like, I don't know, I guess I just hang out with like the people who are the best in the world at Prismata, and so like even in top 20, which I'm not because of vacation penalty, but like there's so much stuff that I don't know about the game that other people that I hang out with do know. And like if I play a pooch, he'll like crush me a large percentage of the time, for example. I don't know. Just sort of like struck me that you never start to feel like you're good at Prismata, I feel like. Or, you know, it's one of those like it's got an M in it. The phenomenon, Bainoff minor phenomenon. Is that, I probably said it wrong, but Baidolf. Anyway, we're like, but that's actually the wrong one anyway. So who cares? Like Dunning-Kruger is the one I'm thinking of, right? The people who think they're absolutely the best at a thing are the ones who are actually like too dumb to realize they're any good at all. And as you get better, you start to realize more and more how much you don't know. I don't know. Prismata feels that way sometimes. Like when you first beat Masterbot, you're like, alright, I think I'm getting this figured out. I was anyway. There's really... Yeah, this is a Deadeye set, right? The only attackers here are defenders. And like, so obviously Sentinel Cauterizer is like a pretty reasonable synergy. But they both produce Soak as well, so like, you know, cool. And there's this big Absorber and Zatron. So like, I think you obviously go for Deadeyes and a million drones. And then you try to transition into like some Tarsiers for a while, and then Tarsiers and Pixies or something. And then Sentinels and Cots, basically. You clearly want to throw in a Zatron at some point there. What is this? Why? I mean, I was gonna just double drone and then next turn DBB for the standard Deadeye opening. What do you even rush with one Blast Forge? Is opponent building Splitter drone next turn? Why? I could respond with DB. Or I could just continue with DD. And then, like, I don't know. I think Splitter Rush is just bad enough that there's no reason to do anything drastic in response. I'll go ahead and get a Conduit instead of floating here, because I won't want double blue for Deadeyes coming up. I'm gonna need like a wall, and so in the meantime I might as well accumulate green for Zatron, I guess is the best way to be prepared for this. It's like, okay, but I don't understand. You just wanted, you cut a drone to get out a Pixie? I guess you tricked me into getting a Conduit. Instead, a Conduit last turn instead of a drone this turn, I guess? And then the Pixie's gonna kill one of my engineers? That's kind of weird. I could just get Deadeye, drone, and some Engies. I think that's fine. What is going on? I feel like I've not responded to this bizarre line in the best way. I think I just need to keep droning, punish them for this weird cut by, like, just doing something normal. I'll transition into Deadeyes, but right now... I want a single splitter, I guess. Which forces them to, like, not build a Deadeye. Or accept the loss of an engineer. I don't know, this is very strange. Like, the advantage I've gotten out of this is that I'm gonna have a better Zatron transition. The downside is I have, like, a really terrible way to, like, actually drone up, which I think is the important thing. So I don't know, this weird pixie poke, it did something to me. No! You're gonna hold the Deadeye? No way, just lose the Engie. Right? This is bizarre. So can I buy 4 drones and a Deadeye? No. Okay. 3 drones and a Deadeye I can do, however. Alright. Like, you're gonna just have to hold another one now if you, like, right? If you thought it was worth holding Deadeye to save a damage, you should have done it last turn. You should continue doing it. And if you don't, you should have done it last turn. I don't know. I mean, I'm clearly, like, having some issues. Being way behind on Deadeyes. It's not even clear what I'm up on, really. Like, sort of, maybe. Not even really drones, right? I have green, right? That's what it is. And that, like, Zatron's really good, but it's not going to help for a long time. I don't know, maybe I was... It was just very odd. I mean, I guess I'm also getting free engineer kills, so there's that. I feel like it would have benefited my opponent to at some point get, like, Wall Pixie. I just don't know. Like, I also only have 13 bucks, which is kind of a problem. Like, I can't get 4 drones and anything. I can't get, like, 3 drones and a Deadeye, for example. So I'm actually thinking of, like, this. I'm, like, actually net negative on drones, which is a real bummer. But I get the attack in with the splitter, which is nice. An opponent really... I don't know. This game's... This is the weirdest Deadeye game I've ever seen. Because it started with this bizarre cut that changed everything. And the wall kind of sucks, because they're just going to hold the pixies. But it means I don't have to lose Engies, which are, like, really important at the moment. Next turn I'm going to have just, what, 12 bucks? That's 1 Deadeye and 2 more drones. Yeah, something went wrong here for me, for sure. Okay, I mean, cool. I'm able to start buying more drones now than I'm losing per turn. That's something. And soon I can stop buying Deadeyes, which will be a good time to grab the Zatron, I think. There's no reason to buy a barrier here. 4 drones left. Next turn is like Zatron double Pixie, probably. Opponent playing well with the Pixies. Actually, do I need the Zatron yet? I feel like it's more important to get more drones. But Zatron's generating a lot of value, right? Opponent has enough attack that the 4 health Zatron generates every turn is starting to be sort of useful. Maybe not. Maybe not for another turn. I can delay the Zatron again. But this conduit is like clearly looking like a mistake, right? If I'd gotten more drones sooner, I could have been buying more drones in the meantime. It would have really helped a lot. Do I need this NG? Like, if they attack for 3, I want 2 NGs so that I can build the last 2 drones, is my thinking. Maybe this could be a splitter. It's not doing any damage yet, but it could be soon. I think it won't, though. Pixies are better. I don't like floating 5, but what else are you supposed to do, right? Well, I'm going to have more drones than opponent at the end of all this. And Zatron generating health to counteract all the Tarsiers that opponent has, so there's that. Oh. I can actually do this. I didn't count that out. That float 5 was pretty good after all, huh? And I think I just can't invest in red this game because I have, or not for a while anyway, I have so much green I want to get rid of. Like, not get rid of, but make effective use of. So opponent's attacking for 5 next turn. I think we let... we could... Yeah, I think we still absorb on Splitter, right? Yeah, definitely. Well, I can't get a Mega Drone then, right? That's the problem. This? Because then I can defend 2, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6. So I can handle anything with this barrier. 3 is fine, 4 is fine. Yeah, this gets me the Mega Drone. While still letting Zatron heal. Or letting Splitter absorb, I guess I should say. I know I have to spend a Pixie to get it, but I think that's well worth it, given that I don't really have a choice. Oops. Now maybe I have enough econ to invest in red. Maybe. Probably not, though. Yeah, I guess they should save up Pixies so that Zatron can't heal as easily. I have to decide between letting Zatron overheal and not absorbing on Splitter. Well, they're attacking for what? At least 7, right? Well, I guess that's not really relevant. Because if I absorb on Zatron, I'll be fine, but I don't get the 2 extra health from Splitter. If I hold Splitter, I get 2 extra health from Splitter, but 2 less health from Zatron, and 1 less damage from Splitter. So I think it's clear I should attack. 5, I think, well, I don't know. This is fine. Yeah, I think maybe I actually can invest in some red here. Like Cauterizer, Sentinel, Pixie is a plausible turn. Probably holding Splitter. Yeah, I guess they're right to click all the Pixies. Oh, I can't buy the Sentinel if I'm buying Cauterizer. So it's like Cauterizer Wall. Yeah, that seems fine. Well, instead of Wall, this is, let's see. This is keeping over-defending by 2. I want to over-defend by 3 more. What about that, huh? Now the Zatron heals. I lose the damage from Splitters. This is a little bit less good than it could be. But it seems useful. Yeah, I'm close to caught up on damage, I'm up on Econ, and I have Zatron and green. I think I'm ahead here, but I'm not sure. There's got to be an exploit here that makes it hard for them to not lose any engineers. Attacking for 6 when they had the Rhino would have been one, because they have to either lose Deadeye Rhino or Wall Engie, both of which are awkward. Ah, Husk does sort of fix the problem for them. They have enough granularity now without using the engineers. So I might as well just stack for everything into this. Then they get to keep 5 alive. That's all the Engies into Husk, but not all the Engies in a Corpus, which is nice. So they have to either turn off the Cauterizer or lose the Corpus without ever clicking it. Ah, no! They can keep Corpus and 3 Engies, and then this is their 4th. Nice. I see. So I think I want the Cauterizer. And it would be nice to have 4 extra defense, so that's this. Okay. think Zatron's just too much of a powerhouse. Yeah. I was worried at the beginning of this game, and in the middle, as you guys heard, but I'm pretty confident now. I don't know the details, but I seem to be winning. I guess this turn's a bit difficult. Maybe I could have been okay with losing, turning off a Cot, since I need something to absorb on besides the Zatron, I guess. It would be nice to maybe I just do this. I over-defend the Zatron, absorb on wall, turn off one Cot, but that's not too bad. Actually, do I even have to do that? Oh, this turns off both Cots if I want to keep the Zatron healthy. I see. Oh, this turns off their Cot, right? Oh, yeah. So only attacking for 9. This is 5. 4 more here, so I'm losing 1 Cot. 5. They're attacking for 11. I don't know where I came up with 9. 5. I need 6 more. That's 3 NGs. I'm up to 4. Force fields defend. I'm over defending by 5. Plus 8 is 13. Maybe this is a little too much. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm losing something. Maybe like a Cauterizer turns off. I don't know. I'm a little short of time. Okay, yeah, you have to actually hit resign though, or it doesn't count. That was... Oh, I didn't even read my opponent's name aloud because I was like talking when we got matched. We played against Googly Boogly apparently. Yeah, this was weird. I don't know what was the right reaction to this very strange turn 2 from opponent. I think that... I don't know. I guess my thinking was that, well, let's go get into the replay. That opponent would not build a Pixie this turn. Because why would you cut a drone to get a Pixie in a Deadeye game, right? It just seems wrong. I don't see any reason to do it. So I concluded that they wouldn't do it. And then I said, well, okay, if they're not getting a Pixie, what are they getting? A Splitter. Okay, what do you do against Splitters? And you could argue that this opens me up to some not exactly exploit, counterplay, whatever, by someone who gets a Pixie. I said they shouldn't get a Pixie because it's bad, therefore assume they're not. And if I took that, if I took made too extreme a reaction to that, and did something somehow that was completely awful against Pixie in order to survive against Splitter or whatever, you might imagine that then an opponent could say, haha, gotcha. I made you choose, and now that you've chosen to defend against Splitters, I'm getting Pixies. And that kind of happened. I had that one Pixie, hurt me a lot more than I thought a Pixie would. But it hurt opponent a great deal as well, right? Cutting this drone, not getting the third NG that you really should get in a Deadeye set. And that's why it was okay for me to react as though they weren't getting Pixie into Deadeyes, because Pixie into Deadeyes is just fraught with problems. But still, it impacted me a lot more than I would have liked, and as a result, I was nervous all game. So I don't know. Should I have just completely ignored their Blast Forge and gone like DD float? Planning like DD or BBD, the normal Deadeye opening for player 2? I could have. But I figured if opponent was getting splitters, I didn't want to go like crazy super high econ, even though there's enough here to go high econ with an opponent who's cooperating. And I figured that if the game did slow down and go back to Deadeyes, the screen would still help because of like Zatron and Sentinel and Barrier. But it's a very long-term investment, right? Having done this and costing myself like drones on this turn, basically, made it really hard to keep droning. I don't know, maybe this splitter was a problem and it should have been a Pixie? I was thinking, like, opponent is gonna similarly feel bad about losing their engineers, just like I did. And therefore, like, can't really buy a second Deadeye yet. This splitter forces them to take a break, and that seemed good. But in exchange, I had to, like, cut my droning for a turn. And the point of Deadeyes is that, like, drones are great. I let my opponent get enough Deadeyes up that I actually couldn't drone faster than they could Deadeye them, which was a big problem. So maybe it was worth the compromise here of getting Pixie, Forge, drone. Or something like that. Oh, I can only buy one. Right, that's the thing. If I get a Forge here, I have $8. I get a drone. I have 5. I have Pixie. I have $4. I don't know, maybe more NGs. Yeah, actually that seems great. Yeah, this does seem like an improvement. Whoops. It's sort of rewarding opponent for this, like, slower Deadeye, though, if I never buy any attackers. I don't know. I mean, turning off an engineer's cool, I guess. Next turn, I actually have 17. That's Deadeye and 2 drones and 6 left. So I get a 3rd NG. They're in the same boat. And the game develops into a sort of more normal thing where, like, I'm kind of substantially behind in Deadeyes and drones, but I have all this green. I don't know. This seems pretty alright for opponent, doesn't it? Okay, they have some drones left. Well, you buy them all, right? And Pixies and a conduit. I guess. I guess opponent isn't ahead in drones. They're behind. They have more drones on the table, but they're buying them more slowly. And, like, I don't know, my Deadeyes are killing. I have more Deadeye charges, basically. I'm not sure that's sufficient compensation. Yeah, I think opponent actually does this, and I don't know. I just tried an improvement, what I thought was an improvement for my own line, and suddenly I'm losing. Doesn't seem fair, does it? Well, I think, like, opponent didn't react correctly to my play either in the game. They held a Deadeye for no reason. And my splitter got a lot of value by, like, poking them after they decided to stop holding Deadeyes. So, I don't know. Maybe I need to play this out more to determine if I'm actually, like, ahead or behind. But it sure looks bad, doesn't it? There's all the drones. I guess I'm... Why do I think it looks bad? I have more green. I have more attackers. I have basically the same number of drones. My opponent has more tempo in terms of pixies and NGs, and I haven't quite finished killing all the drones yet. My opponent has more conduits, so they'll have more access to barriers later. But I seem to have more attack, and that like doesn't make much of a difference yet, but it will soon. Actually, I should attack. Get in that. No, it doesn't. It comes out the same. Right, this cashes in the pixie a turn earlier, but doesn't actually produce any like net damage. Clicking the splitter allows me to trade pixie for NG, but I can do that whenever. So hold the splitter, and that way, like I can, for example, like Megadrone if I want to, with like splitter pixie, which is not something you usually want to do, but it's an option. It's nice to have if that seems to be your best option. They could counter that by clicking like 3 pixies, but that would obviously be awful, so they won't. And now opponent like can get the Zatron and start building attackers. Yeah, we both finished the drones. I could click both of these and like Zatron wall pixie. I think 2 damage is about the right amount to do, because they should take NG onto Deadeye to get more health out of Zatron. I don't know. I don't know. The game seems pretty close here, actually. Actually, opponent looks a little ahead. They have more pixies and stuff, but no, I have more defense lying around. They're about to leapfrog me in attackers, but like I'll leapfrog back in response. So what's the actual honestly, they should do this, right? Make the most use of their tech as quickly as possible. And then they should try to Megadrone me next turn or something. I don't know. What's the deciding factor? Who's ahead here? I don't know. I'm clearly not getting a Megadrone. I'm probably just letting Zatron take it on the chin here, right? I think so. Because I want to make sure that I have 3 NGs next turn for my Megadrone. Yeah. I don't know why I'm so involved. Like, I felt like the original game didn't go the way it was supposed to, and so now I feel like I have to play it again with more reasonable options. Actually, opponents should absorb on Zatron here, since I'm not going to give value. Maybe you do this and click Zatron? I don't know, that's a sort of serious amount of damage. Oh, but you want the Megadrone, right? It's not a great Megadrone, but you take what you can get. It's good. But now Zatron's not getting any absorb, because I'm going to do the same thing. So you click. I don't know. Now you're only absorbing 1, but I guess that's what you were going to do anyway. Better, no, you're absorbing 0, because I'm not attacking. Huh. Anyway, this is how I feel like the game should have gone. Both of us buying, like, basically splitters. Well, I envisioned red. I think red is good here. The problem is that buying Zatron and 2 blue made it really hard to get to red. Eventually, you can like just pixie away your blue and buy reds. Or, I don't know. There's no cheap way to spend green aside from barriers, which you don't really want to spend that early. And so we've both been committed to using our green, which has made it hard to invest in red. Any $6 you have, like, really wouldn't a Gauss Cannon be better than an Animus? For now, anyway, since you don't really need the soak yet. I don't know. I'm not going to play this out to the end. This is just crazy. But I think this is, like, a response I could have taken here. And then... like, opponent got attackers first, but let me get way ahead on drones. And I also had green, which countered, like, the fact that they were ahead on attackers pretty well. Right, Zatron is giving me, like, on average 3 health a turn. In addition to the absorb that I'm getting normally. So, you know, opponent's first 5 Tarsiers don't even matter. Which is why it was right for me to just keep hammering on Econ and Deadeyes as long as I did. I had to make some good tactical plays with the barriers for sure. Honestly, I feel like Megadrone and Zatron were the main, like, deciders here. Opponent may be overcommitted by getting the Animus. I don't know. When did I find time to squeeze in an Animus, by the way? I guess at this point, for whatever reason, I decided that an Animus is worth more than a Gauss Cannon. I guess that's reasonable. There's a lot of good red soak, and we're getting to the point where I need soak. Right, it's kind of funny to buy red when you're ready to defend, but I think this is the kind of set where that makes sense. Oh, let's look at the end here, by the way. What exactly, like, was my defense looking like? Assume opponent just attacks for everything, because that seems pretty reasonable, and, like, forget what else they do on their turn. How is this? Oh my god, it's perfect. How did I get to be so good at this game? Like, you heard me mumbling numbers and trying to, like, where was this? At this point, I was like, okay, now I'm over defending by 6, which is Zatron and 1 NG. This is 2 NGs. So I wanted to find 6 more health somewhere. Is that correct? Yes. So I tried these first. That's 4 more health. Ah, right. But I'm over-defended by actually more than that, because they're down 2 attack. So now I'm over-defended by Zatron and 3 NGs, 4 NGs, so this keeps 1 cot. Now just find 4 more health. There it is. You found it. But what about my red? Husk. Then I can, like, turn 1 force field into a barrier and use this as my extra defense. This is the 4 extra health that I needed to keep the second Cauterizer alive. That was how I came up with this, but I wasn't sure I had gotten it exactly right. So it's good to see in the post-game analysis that I did get it right. Cool. All right. I guess we're done analyzing this game. Sounds like Googly Boogly is probably a viewer, so nice to meet you, and thanks for the game. As for you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.